Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the cost of living, homes, houses, insurance, cars, food, everything. It's going through the roof, and you have to know how to play the game. You can't play your grandmother's game. You can't play your great-grandmother's game. You can't play your grandfather's game. You have to learn the game of tomorrow. Not the game of 2015, not the game of 2005, not the game of 2095, not the game of 1995, not the game of 1985. You have to learn to play the game of 2035. See, guys, so you're caught up in the past. And we all know that past performance is not a guarantee of future results. We hear that all the time. Or we can switch it around. Past results is not a guarantee of future performance. We hear it all the time. So why do you think that the rules of yesteryear will apply to the rules of the future? Will apply to the game of the future? Guys, the game has changed. The playground has changed. Innovation, technology. Things have changed. The way people live their lives, the way people raise their children. The schooling system is the only thing that has remained the same, and it is antiquated. You have to think towards the future. You can't live your great-grandparents' life of manufacturing. You can't live that mindset. Even the idea of home ownership, everything is changing, guys. Like the allure of home ownership is quickly diminishing. It like home ownership, the way it exists right now, it's not even 100 years old. And it really didn't even last long enough for the average typical generational families to lay claim to it. See? The home ownership boom only started after World War II, like in the 40s? So it's not even that the concept, the mortgage of the concept of giving mortgages to everyday people, the average citizen, the common peasants, the serfs. It is a new concept. It is not an original concept. The only people who own land and had and was loaned money and given mortgages were the nobles, the wealthy people. They didn't give it to middle income, middle and poor people, because they knew then that land ownership gave the individual a certain amount of independence and power. And they didn't want the peasants to have that. So home ownership, real estate, land ownership is going back to the way it was 100 years ago, where only noble and wealthy people own land. And they hired landlords and vessels to protect the land. That's what a landlord did. The landlord was hired by the owner of the property to defend and protect the land. Then the landlord hired vessels to go and get tenants to either farm the land, live on the land, or whatever the case may be. See? So now the modern way that home ownership works is the banks are the owners of the land, and you are the landlord, the vassal, and the tenant. See, but traditionally, that's not the way it worked. The owner of the land didn't live on the land. The owner of the land leased or rented out the land. That's the way it was originally designed to work. See, you wasn't supposed to live in your property and work your property. See, you live wherever your property was. That's the land that you worked on. You lived on it and you worked on it. You didn't go to other places. Hold on, guys. You didn't go to other places to work and then live at home. You worked the land, the property. See? So, and a lot of business owners, they had the same concept. They lived upstairs and they had their shop downstairs. So they paid one mortgage. Their business was downstairs, they lived upstairs. But we've been tricked into creating a business outside of our land. No, your business is supposed to be your land. That was your business. Your land. You bought land and you leased it out or rented it out, or you farmed it, or you worked the land. That's what it was for. It wasn't just to lay your head on. It was for your land was designed for it to create revenue for you, income for you. That was the original concept of land ownership and landlords and tenants. That was the original concept. See? So this new thing that we're in, that's why it's so bad. That's why it's going south so fast. It haven't even been around that long, but it's going south so fast because people are using their largest investment just to lay their head instead of it being a source of income. It's supposed to be a source of income and revenue, not a liability. Land and property was always a source of income, not a liability. Right now it's a liability. It's taking money out of your pocket every month. It's not putting any money in your pocket. See, so you're going to work to pay for your land, to pay for your home. Your home, your land is supposed to be paying you. That's the way it's supposed to work. And if you look at the society, the way it's set up, the wealthy people rent out and lease land. Not the modern wealth. I'm talking about the generational wealth. The modern wealth, they don't know any better. They think this is the way it's supposed to be. But this is not the way it's supposed to be. Your land, your home, your property is supposed to generate income for you. Like a lot of farmers, they didn't own the land. They worked the land in exchange to live there and eat. It was a form of sharecropping, white and black. That's why when you go to an apartment complex, the management company, they manage the property. They don't own the property. The property is owned by a corporation like BlackRock or Warren Buffett. And then they hire a management company, the landlord, to manage the property. And then it trickles down from there. See, that's the way it's supposed to work. So now, let's get into the topic. So, as we transition into a new economy, as we start a new game, physical real estate will continue to be an asset, but not to live in. That's the trick, guys. If you're going to own real estate, you're going to have to own it for an asset, but not to live in. You have to figure out a way to turn your real estate, your home, your property, into a income generating asset. Okay? While you're investing your money, when you go to work, whatever you're doing, you're investing your money into digital real estate. That's the new real estate. Digital real estate is the new real estate. See? We're transitioning, guys. You follow me. We're transitioning. We're not in the payphone era anymore. We're not in the pager era anymore. We're not in the horse and buggy era anymore. We're not in the 8-track cassette player VHS era anymore. We're not in the wood stove era anymore. We're transforming from gas to electric, from power to solar. We're transforming. You have to follow the trend. You need to be ahead of it and realize that we are going to become an electric society, a solar society. It's going that way. A lot of people are going to become nomadic. A lot of people are going to leave the United States. A lot of second world countries are going to become first world countries. A lot of people are going to move to the Philippines, to Mexico, to Thailand, to these other countries. It's going to happen. That's why the new economy is digital real estate. If you get tied down in physical real estate in this country, you're going to suffer. If you're going to own physical real estate in this country, you need to have digital real estate so you can live in another country that's freer. You're in less of a psychological burden and trauma in this country. Have your physical real estate here, lease it out, rent it out, while you living in another area as a digital nomad. See, if you're going to own real estate in the United States, if you're going to own property, that property needs to be generating income for you while you're living your life somewhere else freely. So let the migrants have it. Because the cost of living in this country is not going to be worth the opportunities. It's not going to be worth it. See? So a small house is going to cost $800 to $1 million. And home ownership over the next 10 or 20 years is going to be almost all corporate overlords, landlords, wealthy nobility is going to own all the property like they did 200, 300 years ago. Only the kings and the nobles and the aristocrats own property. The peasants did not own property. This is a new game. The creation of wealth through mortgages is a new concept, and it's going south fast because the mortgage now is a huge burden on the average American because they didn't know what property ownership was supposed to be used for. So now you have Airbnbs. That's what it's supposed to be used for. VRBOs, that's what it's supposed to be used for. See? Renting out rooms. That's what the property is supposed to be used for. I'm sorry to tell you that. That's what it's for. But for you to have a house full of whatnots and pictures and antiques and china and all that stuff, that's a scam. That is a scam full of furniture. No, your house needs to be full of useful, functional items that's going to generate an income for you. That's it. A refrigerator, an oven, a freaking bed, a damn freezer, just basics. All this extra stuff, you don't need it. You don't need all the extra. All the extra stuff is not needed. You got a 5-bedroom house, it need to be 4 people in that paying rent. And you have one house manager or landlord or vessel, whatever you want to call them, that's going to manage the house, that lives in the house and manages the house. See, 5-bedroom house, 4 or 5 people paying $500 to $700 a month. The 5-bedroom house should be generating. You should be generating $3,000 a month off a 4 or 5-bedroom house, or more, while you living a nomadic life. See, we've gotten comfortable. We want to lay around in this little house that we have here, full of junk that we don't even use. Most people only use a third of their house. They don't even use their whole house. See? So anyway, guys, that's it for that video, guys. I just want to drop that real quick about the future of home ownership, digital nomad, and we're transitioning from physical real estate to digital real estate, stocks, index funds, ETFs, cryptocurrency. We're going from physical to digital real estate. That's where it's at, guys. Just like social media content. It's going to be a $1 trillion business. It's going to be a $1 trillion market in the next 10 years. $1 trillion. That's why a lot of people on social media sharing information like this to wake people up, to show you that you need to be ahead of the curve, ahead of the trend, and realize that physical real estate is going back how it started. Aristocrat, nobility, wealthy owners lease, rent out the land to be worked by tenants, vessels, serfs, peasants, until they get their stuff together, and then they're going to turn and do the same thing. That's how it works, guys. Until next time, guys, remember to keep your house clean, keep your life clean, keep your car clean, keep your body clean, keep your diet clean. Guys, drink plenty of spring water to flush out the toxins, the chemicals, and the poisons in the food supply. Guys, you're already been poisoned, you've been micro poisoned every day. And since you're operating in an unconscious state because you have not resurrected your mind to be awakened to the downloads of the universe, you're also poisoning your pets and your children unconsciously because your mind is asleep. Okay, guys, so remember to download and deploy your antivirus software, debug and unplug from the matrix. You are in the matrix. The matrix is seducing you. You're under seduction. You're under a spell. And it's all in the media. We're in the information age. We're in the psychological warfare. You've been poisoned by the food and pharmaceuticals to think and behave a certain way. The media gonna tell you, you see a horse, they're gonna tell you that horse is identifying as a crocodile. And you're gonna start calling that horse a crocodile. The crocodile said he's gonna identify as a mule, and you're gonna start calling the crocodile a mule. The chicken said, I'm gonna identify as a eagle, and you're gonna start calling the chicken an eagle. And the eagle say, well, I'm gonna identify as a fish. And you're gonna start calling the eagle the fish. And all the animals are gonna have pronouns, and they're gonna all have rights to be identified with as stupidity, guys. That's the matrix. You're on the mental, you're in the psychological psyop. You've been blue pill MK Ultra. Wake up, guys. Until next time, guys, I'm CountryMan777, and I'm signing off. Now go and conquer yourself. Peace.